cheers to another episode of Two Guys, Two Beers. I'm drinking Angry Orchard Rosé, and Phantom is drinking Heineken.
Well, this was a new intro for the Two Guys, Two Beers podcast we're trying out. Let us know if you like it. But welcome to another episode of Two Guys, Two Beers podcast. I'm your host today, Phantom.
And I'm Max.
So today, I know everybody was rating, but we also going to talk about how the Denver is starting to make people leave. Are you starting to see the flames yet?
Yeah, I am. Actually, they're getting ready to make us leave, so... Well, make me leave, but...
So how you decide to go?
I'm probably just going to come down to Savannah early.
Oh, that's good. Well, I know everybody was asking us in our Twitter about why haven't y'all talked about the presidential debate. So today, we're going to start talking about the presidential debate. So, how did you like the final debate, Max?
I mean, I'm not really fond of them censoring everything and being able to cut off the mics, and how Facebook and Twitter were both censoring shit. That, to me, is complete bullshit. They should have no right to do so. I mean, it's something that's on air just because they start talking about something that they don't like, or like one of the people starts talking about something they don't like. They shouldn't be able to censor it.
Yeah, that kind of threw me off.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, this is weird. And like I said, that's not their decision. I mean, it's the American people's decision to watch it. They shouldn't have a right to cut off people's mics or choose to censor it online whenever President Trump is talking, just because he might say something that against Biden, and they don't like that.
No, they were cutting off the mic for Biden too a little bit. I mean, I guess they were trying to do a preemptive type thing so that they don't go back and forth and just have a argument match like the first one.
Oh, I think they should have let him go all out.
I'd rather just talk about the things that they lied or told the truth about, like how Trump said that COVID is going away, but technically we're in the middle of a spike right now, and also how Biden lied about how red states has more COVID than blue states, but I mean, truthfully, it's about equal, blue and red states.
Yeah. I mean, it is going to be equal, just because, I mean, a lot of states and stuff like that are Republican and Democrat, you know, some of them don't really have a whole lot of people, and they're really sparsely populated.
Yeah, the more and more I think about it, I mean, it's more, in blue states, it's more people for the most part, but I mean, the red states, it kind of evens out, so.
Yeah. And then, I mean, you got to think about places like Florida, that's a Republican state, and, you know, it's a big tourist destination, so of course their numbers are going to go up. I mean, you know, it's just common sense. It's not more of who's at fault. I think, like, it's more just, you know, where it's at. Because there are states out west that barely have any cases.
Yeah, but some states also don't have that many people either.
Well, I know, that's what I was getting at too, but you know what I mean? So it all depends.
I mean, you can go to a state like Wyoming or North Dakota. Man, we gotta go to North Dakota, South Dakota. We always talk about them.
Go out there and do a live show.
I mean, go out there and just go out there, do a hunt and hike. I don't know what else to do out there.
For sure, there's plenty of stuff to do.
Probably a good zip line place you could go to out there.
I think Glacier National Park is out that way, if I remember right. I don't know. I know it's somewhere out in the west.
I also like how Trump is trying to lie about how he's have a plan for pre-existing people with medical conditions, but right now he's fighting Obama Care Act, also known as what they changed it to, Affordable Care Act, which made it illegal for healthcare providers to not service people, don't accept people who have a pre-condition. He's trying to get this banished or repealed, and then he's already trying to go to the Supreme Court to get this taken away.
Yeah, they want to restructure it, from my understanding.
I mean, I understand he want to restructure it, but where's your plan?
I don't know. It's a very good question, because even the vice president himself has talked about it, and I'm just like, tell me, damn it. Like, don't lead me on over here. Like, I get that you guys want to do something. Like, at least give me some hints.
Like, I understand the Obamacare Act is not the best, but at least it's something. because I have a broken back, so underneath some health comparatives may not want to take me because my back break again.
I mean, they still have to take you.
Yeah, thanks to Obamacare.
Well, I mean, Ian Trump still signed it to where it's still in play.
But right now he's trying to go to the Supreme Court to take it away. So, and then in my eyes, Trump could say he has a thing, but I don't know what it is. I mean, because if I was everything Trump say he's gonna do, he do it, and he has a plan, and he always tell people because Trump that type of person. But for him not to say anything, I feel like he don't have anything.
Yeah, either that or it's just the way that it's written. He feels like the left is going to attack him hardcore on it. Even though it might be better, I feel like they're going to try to find out every little bit and piece that's wrong with it.
And then let's not just make it about Trump lying. Let's also talk about how Biden lied about Trump caused the deficit to go up with China not down. But the deficit is down by $34 billion at the moment compared to last year. But it's also because of COVID. It's a lot of other things. So technically he's told the truth, but technically he lied too.
I mean, the deficit did go down.
But it was just more because if you look into it, it's kind of like because of COVID and we're not able to export more stuff.
And all the tariffs that we're getting money back on is the reason why it's going down too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that helps out a lot. And that's, also pushing more money back into our economy rather than theirs.
Yeah, I just feel like it's more because we're not accepting as many goods as we used to. This year, at least, at the moment.
Yeah.
And then we also could go back to how Trump lied about the countries putting money into the NATO to make it $420 million a year. But when you really look into it, that's because it's a total. In average, they do $120 billion a year. So now total came up to 420.
Yeah. Well, it's supposed to go up to 400 billion by 2024.
Yeah, total. Not like what they doing is 120 billion per year compared to the way Trump made it seem like it's 420 billion per year.
Yeah, no, that's just 130 billion that they put in extra this year. Is what he was actually talking about. Like countries from all over Europe and Canada have added $130 billion to the NATO fund instead of just majority of it coming from the United States. That's why he chose to tell them he was either going to back out of it or people were going to put in more money to help match us instead of us putting all of the money in and defending all these countries and basically getting the shaft. Sorry, I really looked a lot into this prior. This was a big thing that happened over a while ago.
Oh, I completely understand. And then we could go into another thing about how Trump lied about how we have the cleanest water and the cleanest air. Yes, technically we do have the cleanest air, but we rank 26 in water, and Finland's ranked number 1.
Which, honestly, doesn't surprise me that we rank that low. I mean, I don't know how many that's out of, but I mean, really, you think about all the pollutants and shit that we actually put into the waters.
I think it's out of all the, in
the world.
First, like, what's it called? Not third world, first world countries in the world.
I don't know. But still, I mean, honestly, I don't care what anybody says, we definitely do not have that clean of water.
Well, it is a company that adds salt to its water. Do you know which company that is?
Dasani.
Yeah, it was a whole thing that was going around about how Dasani is the worst water. And that's why I remember when the whole water shortage was going around, and it was a whole bunch of Dasani still out there, but it was no other purified and spring water.
I mean, a lot of companies are really bad with that. Like, honestly, if you look at most bottles, most of them, like, if they legit don't say spring, and some of them even that say spring, are still not spring water. They're actually tap water from cities.
Yeah, I forgot. I think Aquafina come from New York. One of them actually come from Detroit. Like, I was looking at water one time and it said Detroit. I'm like, that's close to Flint. So are we getting Flint water now?
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me, to be completely honest, but most of them just clean it and put it back in, and then they add shit to it. And I'm just like, why would you do all that work whenever you could literally just buy wells and literally just bottle it straight from the ground? Maybe run it through a little like a micron filter, enough to filter out any, little bugs. But other than that, that's it. Like, that's why I drink Deer Park water, which some people claim tastes like deer piss, but that's just because they don't understand what real water tastes like. I grew up in the mountains drinking water from springs straight out of the ground.
So you drink deer piss before?
No, I've never drank deer piss.
I don't know. You say you know the taste of it, so
no, I know the taste of pure water. Like, that's why I can tell in cities. That's why I always bring bottled water.
Well, how do you know if you never taste deer piss if it tastes the same or not?
I mean, you never know, but I ain't planning on finding out.
Well, I take spring water. Most of the time I drink Deer Park or some type of spring water, because the more and more you look into it, if you're not getting good water to refresh your organs and stuff, and you're getting these crappy waters, you might just drink tap water, or even just drink sugar all day, really.
Pretty much.
But let's go into something Trump was telling the truth over. Trump was telling the truth when he said Obama started the whole cages thing, but the only difference is Obama only let the kids stay in for 72 hours compared to the thing Trump doing now.
Yeah, but with this whole, a lot of these Democratic states allowing people to come in, it's causing an issue to where they have to keep them longer, because now kids are being trafficked through these runners, and they don't actually belong to the people that they're coming in with. They're being kidnapped and brought over because they think that they can get away with it. So now we're having an issue finding out who the kids are and where their families are at, and getting them back to their families and making sure that it is actually legit is their family.
So what happened to the kids that actually their family? Why don't we just send them back to where they came from?
We usually do.
I mean, no, because there's a whole bunch of kids. Now we starting to do where people are starting to get their roman parts taken away and stuff. You seen that in the camps?
I want to see proof of that.
I mean, it was a whole story.
I know what you're talking about. I had read the story, but that could be hearsay. I mean, I'm not doubting it, to be honest. We live in a really fucked up society.
Well, I just feel like, technically, let's be honest, if you came over here on a chance, push you right back over the border, and then we figure out from there. Because my whole thing is, I'd rather put people out there in the free, and then they could go back doing what they want to do. I mean, technically, we got all these. How you think the drugs come over here? There's all these fucking caves and tunnels to bring all that shit in. Yeah. So if you my whole thing is, it's just like if I borrow your cigarette, you gonna want your cigarette back. So, well, that's a horrible correlation, but I'm just saying, if the kids came from Mexico, put them back over in the border.
That's also where we're running into another issue, is that a lot of the people that cross our border aren't actually from Mexico. They're actually from more South American countries.
I know that, but
Mexico doesn't just want us throwing them back over there, because then they got to figure out what to do with them.
Well, they cross the border most time from Mexico, so if Mexicans start buffing up their security and not letting people do it, because my whole thing is, it's not our, it's a catch-22. It's not all right. Well, I'm more 50-50, because some of these people are fighting to get their citizenship, and if they paying taxes, which I know some Americans don't pay taxes, and they doing everything they can, but then they get a traffic stop, and then they get put in jail, and then they have to get sent back to their country. I think that's a lot stupider than people serving drugs or doing kidnaps and a lot that type of stuff. I understand why we send them back super fast, but if somebody actually trying to be a citizen, because let's be honest, most Americans not going to do the 850 jobs. Let's be 100% honest. The Hyperloop, who you think going to be most workers on there?
I guess it'd be mostly Americans.
I think a lot of construction work is going to be illegal.
No, you would honestly be surprised. Most stuff like that is actually done by Americans.
You'd be surprised, because I work in Savannah, and there's a construction going right now on the highway where I know it's illegals working. Because literally, one of my friends who was legal, he said one of his amigos worked there, and they're illegal.
I say that's really surprising, because usually they're pretty good about checking all their documentation on that kind of stuff.
I mean, you could check documentation, but let's say, I know certain warehouses down here,